Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Brooke Buckner. Sarah has the weekend off and she picked a beautiful weekend to take off. I'm here with meteorologist Simone Thomas now. Simone, how lucky are we? We have a beautiful weekend in store for us.
Yeah, you know, middle to upper 80s in the middle of July is not that common for us in central Arkansas, but we're going to take the one where we can get in, and we're looking to see that stick around for a few more days. Now here's a quick look at satellite and radar. There is a frontal boundary just to our south and east. Behind that, we've been seeing pretty tranquil conditions across the natural state. A few showers tried to move into northwestern Arkansas, but central and southern Arkansas, other than a passing cloud, has been pretty quiet today. Temperature still hanging on to the middle 80s, some lower 80s in the picture as well. 86 the current in Little Rock and Hot Springs, 84 in Russellville and Searcy, Clinton down to 82 right now. As we continue through the evening, if you're looking to head out, temperatures falling off to the 70s pretty early after sunset. And again, we're going to see just a nice mix of clouds and sun, a quiet afternoon ahead. And how long can these cooler temperatures stick around? I'll have that answer for you coming up in that 7-day outlook.
Thanks, Simone. This afternoon, hundreds hit the softball fields in Fordyce to make a donation and play a game for those affected by June's mass shooting at a local grocery store. And as we approach the 1-month mark of this tragedy, THV 11's Rebecca Brown spent the day out there and shows us how the community is recovering.
We are going to reset, and we're going to come back stronger than we've ever been before.
It's all about new beginnings for the community of Fordyce, as they share memories of laughter, good food, and most importantly, a competitive game of softball.
It was a no-brainer to go ahead and throw a tournament because we knew the amount of support that we would get.
Hundreds showed up on Saturday at the fields to honor those affected by June 21st mass shooting.
We've got past the part of the shooting. We're trying to focus more on the healing process now.
Along with enjoying a game of softball organized by Cassidy Kelly, one of the tournament's directors, who says behind each fence there's a deeper meaning.
It is to raise money for the victims' families and their survivors to cover their medical expenses, gas, going back and forth to the doctor. 100% of any money on this field today will go to those families.
Kelly says so far they've raised over $20,000 and plan to raise even more.
Our goal was to show the community, you don't have to live in fear. We can support one another, we can have fun, and we can also show support to those that were lost, because some were friends, some were strangers, but this way you can show it to everybody.
There's a saying that says, in softball as in life, the secret to success is teamwork.
That's the big thing. You need something like this to bring people together, whether if it's a softball tournament or a concert or just any type of event that talks about community one, and then putting the love not only around the people, but around even the victims that was involved in this event. We want to be able to make sure that we show them love beyond just that one day.
In Fordyce, Rebecca Brown, THV 11 News.
Rebecca, thank you. The games will continue tonight, and THV 11 will continue to update you on the total amount raised. Arkansas State University is now resuming normal operations. It all comes after officials investigated an overnight bomb threat against the Dean B. Ellis Library and the Rang Student Union. According to the university, police and K-9 units cleared the buildings and issued an all clear earlier this morning actually. Arkansas State University said the Jonesboro E911 Center has received an unusually high number of swatting reports over the last week. And some of us are still feeling the ripple effects from that global computer outage, which affected a wide range of industries on Friday, leading to mass flight cancellations and delays. But the outage didn't just impact airports. The programming error that hit Austin-based CrowdStrike early Friday morning brought down the operations of banks, stores, and healthcare providers whose dependence on electronic medical records left some doctors and nurses paralyzed.
We do everything on our computers now. So when that goes down, we have to revert back to paper charting.
We'll do the hot wash and how this happened and ensure it doesn't happen again.
Disruption is likely to ripple through the weekend and now raises questions about a computer network so vastly dependent on a single company. Microsoft says 8.5 million devices running its Windows operating system were affected by the outage. That includes everything from businesses to even billboards in New York's Times Square. And it's been exactly 1 week since the failed assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump. Trump and his newly picked vice presidential running mate, Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio, are in the key election state of Michigan today for the ticket's debut rally. Kelly Vaughn reports on how it also is Trump's first rally since last Saturday's event in Pennsylvania turned tragic with an attempt on his life.
For the next president of the United States, President Donald J. Trump. Come on out, sir.
Former President Donald Trump and his running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, are hitting the campaign trail together for the first time in the battleground state of Michigan.
I want to feel that rumble from the feet all the way up tonight, and Trump is going to give it.
Today marks 1 week since a gunman opened fire during Trump's rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. One spectator was killed and 2 others seriously injured. Trump's right ear was grazed in the assassination attempt that shocked the world.
I stand before you only by the grace of Almighty God. That's true. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here.
Amid extra tight security here in Grand Rapids, some supporters waited in line 4 days to see the newly minted presidential ticket's first public event.
The Secret Service is going to be doing a really good job this event. It's indoors, so I think it's going to be, real secure. I think everything's going to be great today.
President Biden is spending the weekend at his Delaware beach home while he recovers from COVID-19. The president remains defiant, refusing to step away from his re-election bid after last month's poor debate performance, even as more than 30 Democrats urge him to call it quits.
If President Biden decides to step back, we have Vice President Kamala Harris, who is ready.
In a statement Friday, Biden said, "I look forward to getting back on the campaign trail next week." Kelly Vaughn, CBS News, Grand Rapids, Michigan.
And while Biden and his team publicly insist he is staying in the race, privately, people close to him have said and increasingly accepting he may have to step aside. And after a long battle with pancreatic cancer, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee has died. The Congresswoman announced she had cancer just last month. Jackson Lee served in the House since 1995 and leaves a legacy of pushing for legislation related to civil rights, including the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act, the Sentencing Reform Act of 2015, and the George Floyd Law Enforcement Trust and Integrity Act. She was 74 years old. Meanwhile, comedy legend Bob Newhart also passed away earlier this week. In the 1970s, Newhart made the jump from comedy clubs to television stardom, playing Dr. Bob Hartley on The Bob Newhart Show from 1972 to 1978. From 1982 to 1990, he starred in the CBS sitcom Newhart, playing Dick Loudon, an author who moves from New York City with his wife to Vermont to operate a historic inn. CBS announced that a new Entertainment Tonight special, Bob Newhart, A Legacy of Laughter, is set to air this upcoming Monday night right after 6:30 Central with our very own Rolly Hoyt. Again, that's this upcoming Monday night from 7 to 8 right here on THV 11.